Now I know that becoming rich is a bit vacuous, because as soon as you become rich you think, well, what was the point of that? There's so much more to life than becoming rich. I understand that. I understand that there are as many unhappy rich people as there are unhappy poor people. That's the way it works. It's an attitude of mind. However, being rich is really helpful. It can solve problems. Money can solve certain problems. It's like having a magic superpower that certain problems can be solved, both for you personally, for your family, and for those that you care about. So I think that it does matter, and it's a worthwhile thing to do. I do regular updates on tax and accounting issues, so if you'd like to be up to date, then please subscribe to the channel. If you press the like button, it helps me in the channel, so thank you for that. So how to become rich? Well, the time served method and the best way in the past has been just to have rich parents. It really helps. But I accept that not everybody has rich parents, and that it's still possible to become rich even if you don't have rich parents, or if you don't marry somebody rich, and I wouldn't recommend marrying somebody just because they're rich. One of the other ways that I think's quite good fun is just having one good idea. One good idea can make you well off, and I've seen that happen. Now, it sounds a bit like winning the lottery, but it's not. It's much more difficult than that, because in order to have that good idea in business, you have to be in a position and to know the market well enough to have the good idea and to understand that it can make you a whole load of money. Then you've got to have the confidence and stop the procrastination. So not only do you have the good idea, but you implement it and you start the good idea, and then you've got to deliver what the idea promises. So you've actually got to implement it. So all of those things are not easy, but I have seen people become rich from that one good idea. But most people don't do it that way. Most people do it by regular saving and reinvesting profits. And you can do that in a number of different ways. You can do it through financial assets, regular savings, regular payments into a pension, whatever. You can do it by building a business. So you build the business, you invest your time in it in particular, and then you grow the business, reinvesting profits, growing the business so it becomes very valuable. That's the same sort of thing. And that can also be done with a rental property portfolio, where you buy a property, you look after it, you reinvest the rents, you use a profit from that profit, you use the profit from that property to buy the next property and build an asset portfolio like that. I've seen all of those, and they're not uncommon in the world. But the tax system can really be a hindrance to this, because you can be paying income tax. Most people, high rate taxpayers, they pay income tax at around about 50%, just depending on your circumstances. On top of that, you pay capital gains tax on any gains, and a lot of gains are not real gains. The government inflates the money supply and it causes inflation because they can't live within their means. So they cause the inflation, and then you have to pay capital gains tax on the gains that are just created by their inflation. So capital gains tax is a real drag on becoming wealthy. So what is there to do about this? Well, we can think about your personal circumstances and really have a look at it and see how we can go around the tax system so that we pay tax that will also allow you to become wealthy, so that you don't overstate your tax. There are some other big things that you can do. So one of them is pensions. So if you put money into pensions, it's not taxed as you put it into the pension, and then it can accumulate within the pension, and you don't pay tax within the pension. You only pay tax when you take it out, so you can accumulate a nice big asset within your pension. So that's one way. Use of limited companies. With a limited company, you pay half the income tax within the company as a high rate taxpayer, and half if you take the money out of the company, broadly. So if you've got a company and you don't need the income, you can let it accumulate it in the company, and therefore you only sort of pay half the income tax. You're not paying 50% tax, you're paying something like half of that, which is a lot better. And then with capital gains tax, I think it's really important also to think when you buy an asset that you're going to hold it for the long term, because capital gains tax is only paid when you sell assets. So therefore you You can avoid that by just not selling them, and the decision not to sell an asset is often made when you buy it, because you're buying something you want to own sort of forever. So those are like the big things. And I would also say that ISAs can play a part as well. So with an ISA, you put taxed money in, but then it accumulates within the ISA, tax-free, so there's no capital gains tax and no income tax. So they also can be really useful. So there we are. If you want to be rich, regular saving is the most reliable way, and it's what most people do. Having a good idea that's implemented well is also a great way to become rich, and failing that, just make sure you choose your parents well. So good luck with that. I do regular updates on tax and accounting issues, so if you'd like to be kept up to date, then please subscribe to the channel. If you press the like button, it helps me and the channel, so thank you for that.